Perhaps tonight you carry burdens that feel too heavy for your shoulders. Your mind races with worries that seem to multiply in the darkness, and sleep feels like a distant hope rather than a peaceful refuge. But what if I told you that the very moment you close your eyes, something extraordinary begins to unfold? What if the quiet hours of night are not when you're most vulnerable, but when you're most protected? Tonight, I want to share with you a truth that will transform how you understand sleep, rest, and the incredible work that happens in the unseen realm while your body finds peace. This isn't just another bedtime prayer or a simple meditation to help you drift off. This is a revelation about the supernatural activity that takes place over your life every single night, and how you can align yourself with forces far greater than any challenge you face. You see, when the world grows quiet and your thoughts finally settle, there's a battle being waged on your behalf. While you sleep, divine intervention moves through your circumstances, rearranging obstacles, preparing pathways, and fighting battles you didn't even know existed. The same power that speaks to storms and calms the seas is actively working in your life during these precious hours of rest. I've spent years studying the profound connection between rest, faith, and breakthrough, and what I've discovered will astonish you. The hours you spend in sleep aren't passive time. They're not wasted moments where nothing significant happens. Instead, they represent some of the most spiritually active and transformative periods of your entire existence. Tonight, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happening in the spiritual realm while you rest, and how you can partner with these divine forces to see miraculous changes in your life. But first, let me paint a picture that will help you understand the magnitude of what we're discussing. Imagine for a moment that you could see beyond the physical realm. Imagine you could witness the spiritual battles, the angelic assignments, and the divine strategies being implemented while you sleep. You would see armies of light surrounding your home, protective barriers being established around your family, and supernatural wisdom being downloaded into your spirit for the challenges ahead. This isn't fantasy or wishful thinking. This is the reality of what happens when you surrender your burdens and trust in something greater than yourself. Every night, as you transition from the conscious world into rest, you're entering into a sacred partnership with divine forces that never sleep, never grow weary, and never stop working on your behalf. The prayer I'm about to share with you isn't just words to be spoken before sleep. It's a declaration that activates spiritual authority over your circumstances. It's an invitation for supernatural intervention in areas where human effort has fallen short. And it's a key that unlocks divine strategies for problems that have seemed impossible to solve. Throughout history, the most profound revelations, the greatest breakthroughs, and the most significant turning points have often come during seasons of rest and surrender. When people stopped striving in their own strength and learned to trust in the work that happens beyond their ability to see or control, miracles began to unfold. Tonight, you're going to learn how to position yourself for exactly this kind of supernatural intervention. What makes this prayer so powerful isn't just the words themselves, but the understanding behind them. When you grasp the truth of what's really happening while you sleep, your entire relationship with rest changes. No longer will you see sleep as merely a biological necessity or a temporary escape from life's pressures. You'll begin to recognize it as one of the most spiritually significant acts you can engage in. The enemy of your soul understands this truth, which is why so many people struggle with sleep. Anxiety attacks in the night hours, racing thoughts that refuse to quiet, fears that seem magnified in the darkness. These aren't coincidences. They're strategic attempts to rob you of the very time when divine intervention is most active in your life. But tonight, we're going to reclaim what belongs to you. I want you to understand something profound about the nature of divine assistance. The same power that created the universe, that breathes life into existence, and that holds all things together, is personally invested in your well-being. This isn't a distant, disconnected force that occasionally intervenes in human affairs. This is an intimate, caring presence that knows your name, understands your struggles, and has already begun working on solutions to problems you haven't even encountered yet. While you've been lying awake worrying about tomorrow's challenges, divine wisdom has been preparing strategies. While you've been consumed with fear about uncertain outcomes, supernatural protection has been establishing boundaries around your life. While you've been struggling to find answers in your own understanding, revelation has been waiting to download into your spirit during the quiet hours of rest. The prayer journey we're about to embark on together will open your eyes to this incredible reality. You'll learn how to surrender not just your worries, but your entire life into hands that are infinitely more capable than your own. You'll discover how to rest not just physically, but spiritually, knowing that the most important work is being done while you sleep. This isn't about passive resignation or giving up personal responsibility. It's about understanding the difference between human effort and divine partnership. It's about learning when to work and when to rest, when to strive and when to surrender, when to act and when to trust that action is being taken on your behalf in realms beyond your perception. Tonight, as we journey through this prayer together, I want you to release every burden you've been carrying, every financial worry that has kept you awake, every relationship conflict that has troubled your heart, every health concern that has filled you with fear, every dream that seems impossible to achieve, every problem that appears too complex to solve. All of it can be surrendered into hands that specialize in the impossible. The spiritual realm operates by different laws than the physical world. What seems fixed and unchangeable in natural circumstances can be completely transformed through supernatural intervention. What appears hopeless from a human perspective can become the very situation where divine power is most gloriously displayed. What feels like an ending can become the beginning of something far greater than you ever imagined possible. As we prepare to enter into this sacred time of prayer, I want you to create an atmosphere of expectation in your heart. Not the kind of expectation that demands specific outcomes or tries to control divine timing, but the kind of expectation that recognizes you're about to partner with forces that can accomplish what you never could in your own strength. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the weight of everything you've been carrying. Let yourself acknowledge the full scope of your concerns, your fears, your hopes, and your dreams. Don't minimize them or pretend they don't matter. Instead, gather them all into your awareness so that you can consciously place them into hands that are more than capable of handling every single one. Tonight marks a turning point in how you approach the challenges of life. No longer will you face them alone. No longer will you rely solely on your own wisdom, strength, or resources. Instead, you're going to learn how to sleep with the confidence that comes from knowing the most powerful forces in the universe are actively working on your behalf. The prayer we're about to pray together has been crafted to align your heart with divine purposes, to open your spirit to supernatural intervention, and to position you for breakthrough in areas where you've struggled for far too long. It's designed to help you release control in a way that actually increases your influence in situations that matter most. But before we begin, I need you to understand that this isn't a magical formula or a guarantee that everything will change overnight according to your preferences. This is about surrendering to a wisdom that far exceeds your own, trusting in love that never fails, and partnering with power that can accomplish what seems impossible. Sometimes the answers come quickly, sometimes they unfold over time, but they always come in the perfect way and at the perfect moment. What I can promise you is this: when you truly surrender your burdens and trust in divine intervention, everything changes. Not necessarily your circumstances, at least not immediately, but your relationship to those circumstances, the peace that comes from knowing you're not fighting alone, the rest that comes from recognizing that the most important battles are being won while you sleep, the confidence that emerges when you realize you're partnered with forces that never fail. So tonight, we step into this sacred partnership with complete trust and unwavering faith. We position ourselves not as victims of circumstance, but as beloved children whose battles are being fought by the ultimate warrior. We rest not in ignorance of our challenges, but in full knowledge that they are being addressed by infinite wisdom and unlimited power. As we prepare to enter this prayer together, I want you to release any need to understand exactly how divine intervention works. You don't need to comprehend the mechanics of miracles to benefit from them. You don't need to figure out the strategy before you can trust the strategist. All that's required is your willingness to surrender what you cannot control and rest in the truth that you are deeply loved and completely protected. The transformation that's about to take place in your life begins with this simple recognition. You were never meant to carry these burdens alone. The weight you've been struggling under was never yours to bear in isolation. The battles you've been fighting were never intended to be fought with only human strength. Tonight, that changes forever. Let me share with you what happens in the moments after you release your concerns through prayer. The spiritual atmosphere around your life begins to shift. Angels receive assignments specific to your situation. Divine wisdom begins calculating solutions to problems that have seemed unsolvable. Supernatural protection establishes boundaries around everything that matters to you. But perhaps most importantly, your own spirit begins to align with purposes far greater than your current circumstances. You start to see beyond immediate challenges to eternal victories. You begin to understand that what looks like opposition might actually be preparation. What feels like delay might actually be divine timing working perfectly. This prayer isn't just about asking for help with existing problems. It's about positioning yourself to receive revelation about opportunities you haven't yet seen. It's about opening your heart to possibilities that exceed your current imagination. It's about preparing your life for breakthrough that will impact not just you, but everyone connected to you. When you truly grasp the magnitude of what's available to you through this sacred partnership, sleep becomes something entirely different. It transforms from mere physical rest into spiritual warfare, from unconscious hours into times of supernatural activation, from passive recovery into active collaboration with divine purposes. I've witnessed countless lives transform through this understanding. People who were drowning in debt suddenly discovering unexpected provision, relationships that seemed beyond repair, experiencing miraculous healing, health conditions that appeared hopeless responding to supernatural intervention, dreams that had been abandoned coming back to life with divine assistance. But the most profound transformations I've seen haven't been in external circumstances, though those changes are often dramatic. The deepest changes happen in the human heart. When you truly experience divine protection during your most vulnerable hours, when you witness supernatural intervention in impossible situations, when you see divine wisdom providing perfect solutions, something shifts at the core of who you are. Fear loses its grip because you know you're protected. Anxiety diminishes because you understand that solutions are already being prepared. Desperation fades because you recognize that unlimited resources are available to you. Loneliness disappears because you realize you're never truly alone, even in the darkest hours. This isn't positive thinking or emotional manipulation. This is recognizing spiritual reality that exists whether you acknowledge it or not. The difference is that when you align with this truth consciously, you position yourself to experience its benefits actively rather than missing them through doubt or distraction. Tonight, as we pray together, we're not just hoping for good things to happen. We're not crossing our fingers and wishing for the best. We're entering into a covenant relationship with forces that have never lost a battle, never failed to provide for those who trust, and never abandoned anyone who called upon divine assistance in genuine faith. The prayer I'm about to lead you through addresses every area where you need supernatural intervention: your finances, your relationships, your health, your dreams, your family, your future. But it does so from a position of partnership rather than desperation, from confidence rather than fear, from rest rather than striving. As we begin, I want you to imagine divine ears tuning in to every word, every thought, every concern of your heart. Picture supernatural forces mobilizing on your behalf. Envision solutions being crafted for problems you've struggled with for years. See breakthrough being prepared for areas where you've experienced repeated disappointment. This isn't fantasy. This is faith recognizing reality that exists beyond physical perception. This is your spirit connecting with truth that your mind might struggle to fully comprehend, but your heart knows is absolutely real. The words we speak together carry authority because they align with divine will for your life. They create spiritual momentum because they partner with purposes that were established before the foundation of the world. They release breakthrough because they acknowledge power that is unlimited and love that never fails. But beyond the specific requests we'll make, this prayer establishes something even more significant: a new way of living where you never face challenges alone. Where sleep becomes a time of supernatural activity rather than unconscious hours. Where rest becomes strategic rather than just necessary. When you wake tomorrow morning, you'll wake into a life where divine assistance is actively engaged in every situation that concerns you. Where supernatural wisdom is available for every decision you need to make. Where unlimited resources are backing every dream that aligns with your highest purpose. This is what it means to live in partnership with the divine, not passively waiting for good things to happen, but actively collaborating with forces that can accomplish what seems impossible, not striving in your own strength, but resting in strength that never diminishes. Tonight marks the beginning of this new reality in your life. As we enter into prayer together, we're not just addressing current concerns. We're establishing a foundation for breakthrough that will continue long after this prayer ends. We're opening channels of communication that will remain active every night as you surrender your burdens and trust in divine intervention. The battles you've been fighting alone are about to become battles fought on your behalf by forces that have never known defeat. The burdens you've been carrying are about to be lifted by strength that never grows weary. The problems that have seemed too complex for human solution are about to encounter divine wisdom that specializes in the impossible. So let's begin this sacred journey together. Let's surrender every concern, every fear, every hope, every dream into hands that are infinitely more capable than our own. Let's rest not just our bodies, but our entire lives in the truth that while we sleep, divine love is fighting for us, working for us, and preparing breakthrough that will exceed our highest expectations. The journey we're about to take together will forever change how you understand the sacred hours of rest. But I need you to prepare your heart for what's coming, because this isn't just another prayer you'll forget by morning. This is an encounter with truth so profound that it will reshape every sleepless night, every anxious moment, and every fear that has robbed you of peace. What you're about to experience goes beyond simple comfort or temporary relief. We're about to step into a realm where the impossible becomes inevitable, where divine strategy meets human surrender, and where your deepest struggles become the very ground where supernatural victory is won. The prayer that follows isn't just a collection of hopeful words, it's a spiritual technology that activates forces beyond your comprehension and aligns your life with purposes that dwarf your current understanding. Let me tell you what happens in the invisible realm the moment you truly surrender your battles to divine hands. Picture this: Every concern you release becomes a point of contact for supernatural intervention. Every fear you surrender becomes an invitation for divine courage to flood your spirit. Every impossible situation you place in divine hands becomes a canvas for miracles to be painted upon. But here's what most people miss entirely. They think prayer is about convincing some distant deity to pay attention to their problems. They approach divine communication like they're placing an order at a cosmic restaurant, hoping their requests will be fulfilled according to their specifications. This couldn't be further from the truth of what we're about to experience together. The reality is that divine love has been fighting for you long before you ever thought to ask. The battles raging in your life right now, they're not random attacks or unfortunate circumstances. They're strategic attempts to prevent you from stepping into the fullness of what's been prepared for you. Every obstacle you face exists because there's something magnificent waiting on the other side that enemy forces desperately want to keep from you. Think about this for a moment. If you were truly insignificant, if your life didn't matter, if your dreams were meaningless, why would there be such resistance to your breakthrough? The very intensity of the opposition you face is actually evidence of the extraordinary destiny that awaits your discovery. The harder the battle, the greater the victory being protected. This understanding completely transforms how you approach prayer and rest. You're not begging for scraps from an indifferent universe. You're not hoping against hope that maybe, possibly, someone might hear your desperate pleas. You're entering into collaboration with forces that have already decided your victory and are simply waiting for you to align with their strategy. When you sleep tonight after this prayer, your unconscious hours will become the most strategically significant part of your day. While your mind rests, divine intelligence will be downloading solutions. While your body recovers, supernatural strength will be building in your spirit. While the world grows quiet, heavenly armies will be positioning themselves for battles you don't even know are coming. But I want to address something that might be stirring in your heart right now. Perhaps you're thinking, this sounds too good to be true. If divine intervention is really this active, why haven't I experienced it before? Why have I struggled so long with the same problems if supernatural help is available? The answer lies in understanding the difference between divine willingness and human receptivity. Divine love has never been absent from your life. Supernatural assistance has never been unavailable to you. The issue has never been divine reluctance to help. The barrier has always been human inability to truly surrender and receive what's being offered. Most people approach prayer like they're maintaining control while asking for assistance. They want divine help, but only in ways they can understand and direct. They desire supernatural intervention, but only if it comes through channels they recognize and approve. They long for breakthrough, but they want to remain the primary strategist of their own lives. Tonight, we're going to do something radically different. We're going to surrender not just our problems, but our solutions. We're going to release not just our fears, but our plans. We're going to give up not just our burdens, but our need to understand exactly how they'll be resolved. This level of surrender is what creates space for the kind of intervention that exceeds human imagination. Let me share with you what I've witnessed when people truly let go at this level. I've seen financial miracles that defy economic logic, relationships restored that everyone said were impossible to heal, health breakthroughs that medical professionals couldn't explain. Career opportunities that appeared from nowhere just when they were needed most. Dreams fulfilled in ways that exceeded the original vision. But the most remarkable transformation I've observed is what happens to the human spirit when it experiences this level of divine partnership. The constant anxiety that once dominated your thoughts gets replaced by supernatural peace. The fear that used to wake you in the middle of the night transforms into confident expectation. The sense of being alone in your struggles dissolves into the assurance that you're never fighting solo. This isn't about becoming passive or irresponsible. True surrender actually increases your effectiveness because you stop wasting energy on battles that aren't yours to fight. You stop trying to solve problems with resources you don't possess. You stop attempting to control outcomes that are beyond your influence. Instead, you focus your energy on the things that are actually within your sphere of responsibility while trusting infinite wisdom to handle everything else. The prayer we're about to pray together will establish this new paradigm in your life, but I need you to understand that this isn't a one-time event. This is the beginning of a lifestyle where every night becomes an opportunity for supernatural collaboration. Every time you lay your head on your pillow, you'll be entering into partnership with forces that never sleep, never grow tired, and never stop working on your behalf. As we prepare to begin, I want you to feel the shift that's already taking place in the spiritual atmosphere around you. Divine attention is focusing on your situation. Angels are receiving assignments related to your breakthrough. Supernatural resources are being allocated to address your specific needs. The same power that spoke worlds into existence is turning its attention to the details of your life. This isn't presumptuous or arrogant. This is recognizing the truth of how deeply you are loved and how completely you are valued by the source of all existence. You matter more than you realize. Your struggles are more significant than you understand. Your victory is more important to divine purposes than you've ever imagined. The enemy of your soul has worked overtime to convince you that you're insignificant, that your problems don't matter, that you're alone in your battles. But tonight that deception ends forever. Tonight you discover what it means to be fought for by infinite love. Tonight you experience what happens when unlimited power engages with your impossible situations. Every word of the prayer that follows has been carefully chosen to align your heart with divine purposes. Every phrase is designed to open spiritual channels that may have been closed by doubt, fear, or past disappointment. Every declaration will establish authority in areas where you felt powerless for too long. But beyond the specific words, what makes this prayer so effective is the understanding behind it. When you truly grasp that divine love is actively engaged in every detail of your life, prayer becomes less about asking and more about aligning. It becomes less about convincing and more about cooperating. It becomes less about hoping and more about partnering with certainty. The supernatural realm operates on principles that often seem backward to human logic. Strength is perfected in weakness. Victory comes through surrender. Breakthrough happens when you stop striving and start trusting. The greatest battles are won not through human effort, but through divine intervention that flows when people get out of the way and let infinite wisdom work. This is why sleep becomes so spiritually significant. It's the ultimate act of surrender. When you close your eyes and release conscious control, you create the perfect environment for supernatural activity. Your spirit becomes receptive to downloads of divine wisdom. Your heart opens to receive solutions that your mind could never calculate. Your life becomes positioned for interventions that exceed your ability to orchestrate. Tonight, as you surrender into rest after this prayer, you'll be entering into the most spiritually active hours of your day. While your body rejuvenates, your spirit will be receiving upgrade after upgrade. While your mind processes the day's events, divine intelligence will be installing new strategies for tomorrow's opportunities. While you dream, supernatural forces will be working in your waking reality to prepare breakthrough that will astonish you. The battles that have exhausted you are about to become battles fought by forces that never grow weary. The problems that have consumed your thoughts are about to encounter solutions from wisdom that knows no limitations. The dreams that have seemed impossible are about to receive supernatural assistance that specializes in the impossible. I want you to understand something profound about divine timing. From your perspective, some problems have lasted too long. Some dreams have been delayed beyond reasonable expectation. Some prayers seem to have gone unanswered for years. But from an eternal perspective, everything is unfolding with perfect precision. The delays you've experienced have been preparing you for blessings you couldn't have received earlier. The struggles you've endured have been developing strength you'll need for the victory that's coming. Divine strategy often involves preparation periods that seem longer than necessary from human viewpoint. But when breakthrough finally comes, you realize that every day of waiting was essential for the magnitude of what's being released. Every challenge you've overcome has built character necessary for handling the level of blessing that's approaching. Every disappointment has protected you from settling for less than what divine love has planned for you. This prayer isn't just about addressing current needs. It's about positioning your life for the fullness of what's been prepared for you from before you were born. It's about aligning with purposes that will impact generations beyond your own lifetime. It's about stepping into a level of partnership with divine intelligence that will revolutionize every area of your existence. The words we speak together will echo in the spiritual realm long after they leave your lips. They'll create momentum that builds day after day, week after week, month after month. They'll establish patterns of supernatural intervention that will become the new normal in your life. They'll open doors that will remain open, creating pathways for breakthrough that will continue flowing for years to come. But I need to prepare you for something that might surprise you. When divine intervention begins working in your life at this level, not everyone around you will understand or celebrate what's happening. Some people have become so accustomed to struggle that they're uncomfortable with breakthrough. Some individuals have built their identity around problems rather than solutions. Some relationships have been founded on shared complaints rather than shared victories. As supernatural favor begins manifesting in your life, some connections may shift, some friendships may change, some family dynamics may need adjustment. This isn't something to fear, but something to anticipate and navigate with wisdom. Divine love is always drawing you toward relationships and environments that support your highest purpose. Sometimes this means releasing connections that were holding you back, even if they felt comfortable or familiar. The prayer we're about to pray will accelerate this process of alignment. As you partner with divine purposes, everything in your life that's not serving those purposes will become uncomfortable. Jobs that don't fulfill your calling will feel increasingly constraining. Relationships that drain your spirit will become obviously unhealthy. Habits that limit your potential will lose their appeal. Environments that stifle your growth will feel suffocating. This isn't divine punishment or spiritual warfare. This is divine love, creating healthy dissatisfaction with anything less than what you were created for. It's supernatural wisdom, making it impossible for you to settle for mediocrity when excellence is available. It's infinite intelligence, ensuring that you don't get distracted by good things when great things are waiting. As we begin this sacred prayer together, I want you to open your heart, not just to immediate relief, but to complete transformation. Don't just ask for your current problems to be solved. Ask for your entire life to be elevated to the level where those types of problems can no longer touch you. Don't just seek healing for present wounds. Seek wholeness that prevents future injury. Don't just desire provision for today's needs. Desire abundance that positions you to be a source of blessing for others. The divine realm responds to the largeness of human hearts. When you dream small, you receive small. When you think big, you receive big. When you surrender completely, you receive completely. Tonight we're going to pray prayers that are worthy of the infinite love that's fighting for you. We're going to make requests that match the unlimited resources that are available to you. We're going to declare expectations that align with the extraordinary plans that have been prepared for your life. Your spirit is about to encounter truth that will shatter every limitation you've accepted as permanent. The prayer we're entering into together isn't just words spoken into empty space. It's a declaration that activates ancient promises made specifically for moments like this, when human strength reaches its end and divine intervention becomes the only path forward. I need you to understand something that will change everything about how you approach the difficulties in your life. Every challenge you're facing right now, every obstacle that seems immovable, every situation that appears hopeless, exists because there's something magnificent waiting on the other side that requires divine assistance to reach. The magnitude of your struggles is actually proportional to the magnitude of the breakthrough that's been prepared for you. Think about the greatest victories in human history. They didn't come through easy circumstances or simple solutions. They emerged from impossible situations where only supernatural intervention could create a way forward. The Red Sea didn't part for people taking casual strolls. The walls of Jericho didn't fall for armies with conventional weapons. The stone wasn't rolled away from an ordinary tomb. Miracles happen when human impossibility meets divine possibility. Tonight, you're standing at that exact intersection. Your impossibilities are about to encounter divine possibility. Your limitations are about to meet unlimited power. Your confusion is about to be touched by infinite wisdom. The very areas where you feel most defeated are about to become the stages where supernatural victory is displayed most gloriously. But here's what most people miss entirely. They think divine intervention works like human assistance, showing up when things are manageable and leaving when situations become too complex. They imagine supernatural help operates within the same boundaries as natural help, limited by resources, time, or energy. This couldn't be further from the truth of what you're about to experience. Divine intervention specializes in impossible situations. Supernatural assistance is most active when human solutions have been exhausted. Infinite wisdom becomes most engaged when human understanding reaches its limits. The darker the night, the more brilliant divine light appears. The deeper the valley, the more dramatic the mountain-moving power becomes. Every sleepless night you've endured has been preparation for the supernatural rest you're about to discover. Every anxious moment you've experienced has been developing your capacity to receive divine peace. Every fear you've faced has been expanding your ability to embrace supernatural courage. Nothing you've walked through has been wasted. Everything has been preparation for this moment when human struggle transforms into divine partnership. The prayer that follows will establish something revolutionary in your life. Instead of carrying burdens that were never meant for human shoulders, you'll learn to transfer them to strength that never diminishes. Instead of fighting battles with limited resources, you'll discover how to engage forces that have never known defeat. Instead of solving problems with finite wisdom, you'll access intelligence that created and sustains all existence. But I want to address the voice in your mind that's whispering doubts right now. Perhaps you're thinking about previous prayers that seemed to go unanswered. Maybe you're remembering times when you trusted and were disappointed. Possibly you're wondering if this time will be different from all the other times you've hoped for breakthrough. Here's what I need you to understand about divine timing and human expectation. Every prayer you've ever prayed has been heard. Every cry for help has reached divine ears. Every moment of desperation has moved the heart of infinite love. But divine wisdom operates on schedules that often don't match human urgency. Supernatural solutions unfold according to eternal purposes that exceed temporary perspectives. What you've interpreted as divine silence has actually been divine preparation. What you've experienced as delay has actually been divine strategy working behind the scenes. What you felt as abandonment has actually been infinite love orchestrating circumstances for maximum breakthrough. The timing that has frustrated you has actually been perfect timing, protecting you from receiving good things before you were ready for great things. Tonight marks the convergence of divine timing with human readiness. The preparation period is complete. The foundation has been laid. The stage has been set. Everything that needed to be in place for your breakthrough has been positioned. The delays you've endured have been developing your capacity to handle the magnitude of what's about to be released in your life. The spiritual realm has been busy during every moment you thought nothing was happening. Angels have been receiving assignments specific to your situation. Divine wisdom has been calculating solutions to problems you haven't even encountered yet. Supernatural resources have been accumulating for the moment when they'll be needed most. The same intelligence that coordinates the movement of galaxies has been orchestrating the details of your breakthrough. When you sleep tonight after this prayer, you'll be entering into collaboration with forces that have been preparing for this moment longer than you've been alive. Your rest will become strategic rather than just necessary. Your dreams will become downloads of divine intelligence rather than random mental processing. Your unconscious hours will become the most spiritually active part of your day. But let me prepare you for what happens when divine intervention begins manifesting at this level in your life. The changes won't always come in ways you expect or through channels you recognize. Supernatural solutions often look different from human solutions. Divine strategies frequently operate through means that seem unrelated to the problems they're addressing. You might pray for financial breakthrough and receive a job opportunity that seems completely unconnected to your previous experience. You might ask for relationship healing and encounter circumstances that require you to forgive people you never planned to forgive. You might seek physical healing and discover that emotional wounds needed to be addressed first. Divine wisdom sees connections that human logic can't calculate. This is why surrender becomes so crucial. When you release control over how your breakthrough comes, you create space for solutions that exceed your imagination. When you stop dictating the methods, you open yourself to miracles that surpass your expectations. When you trust divine strategy more than human planning, you position yourself for interventions that defy natural limitations. The prayer we're about to pray together will establish this level of trust in your heart. But I need you to understand that trust isn't the absence of fear. Trust is choosing to rest in divine faithfulness despite the presence of uncertainty. Trust is deciding to believe in divine goodness even when circumstances suggest otherwise. Trust is maintaining confidence in supernatural love regardless of temporary appearances. Every great breakthrough in human history has required someone to trust beyond what they could see, understand, or control. Every miracle has demanded faith that exceeded current circumstances. Every supernatural intervention has asked someone to believe in possibilities that contradicted present realities. Tonight, you're being invited into that same level of faith. The battles you've been fighting alone are about to become battles fought by armies you cannot see. The problems you've been trying to solve with limited understanding are about to encounter wisdom that has no boundaries. The dreams you've been pursuing with finite resources are about to receive backing from unlimited supply. The healing you've been seeking through human means is about to touch supernatural power that specializes in the impossible. But beyond addressing your specific needs, this prayer will establish something even more significant in your life. It will create a new normal where divine partnership becomes your default approach to every challenge. Instead of your first response being worry, it will become worship. Instead of your immediate reaction being fear, it will become faith. Instead of your natural tendency being to strive, it will become to surrender. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it begins tonight. Every time you choose trust over anxiety, you're strengthening spiritual muscles. Every moment you select faith over fear, you're building supernatural capacity. Every instance you pick surrender over striving, you're creating space for divine intervention to flow more freely in your life. The enemy of your soul understands the power of what we're about to release through prayer. That's why you might experience resistance as we begin. Distracting thoughts might try to interrupt your focus. Doubts might attempt to undermine your faith. Past disappointments might whisper accusations about divine faithfulness. These are not random occurrences. They're strategic attempts to prevent you from accessing the breakthrough that's waiting for you. But here's what you need to know about spiritual opposition. It only shows up when something significant is about to happen. The intensity of resistance is actually evidence of the magnitude of breakthrough that's approaching. If what we're about to do wasn't going to make a real difference in your life, there would be no effort to stop it. Every distraction you overcome tonight strengthens your spiritual authority. Every doubt you reject increases your capacity to receive divine intervention. Every fear you surrender makes more space for supernatural peace to fill your heart. The opposition isn't evidence of divine absence. It's proof of divine activity that enemy forces desperately want to prevent. As we prepare to enter this sacred prayer together, I want you to feel the shift that's already taking place in the spiritual atmosphere around your life. Divine attention is focusing on your situation with laser precision. Angels are positioning themselves for assignments they've been waiting to fulfill. Supernatural resources are being allocated specifically for your breakthrough. The same power that raised the dead is turning its attention to the areas of your life that have felt lifeless. This isn't wishful thinking or positive confession. This is recognizing spiritual reality that exists, whether you acknowledge it or not. The difference is that when you align with this truth consciously, you position yourself to experience its benefits actively rather than missing them through doubt or distraction. The words we're about to speak together carry authority because they align with divine will for your life. They create spiritual momentum because they partner with purposes that were established before time began. They release breakthrough because they acknowledge power that has never failed and love that never gives up. Every syllable of this prayer has been chosen to unlock specific areas of supernatural intervention in your life. Every phrase is designed to dissolve barriers that have prevented divine assistance from flowing freely. Every declaration will establish new levels of spiritual authority in situations where you felt powerless for too long. But beyond the specific requests we'll make, this prayer establishes a new covenant between your heart and divine love. It creates an ongoing partnership where you never face challenges alone. It opens communication channels that remain active long after the words are spoken. It positions your life for continuous breakthrough rather than one-time intervention. When you wake tomorrow morning, you'll wake into a reality where supernatural assistance is actively engaged in every area that concerns you, where divine wisdom is available for every decision you need to make, where unlimited resources are backing every dream that aligns with your highest purpose, where the battles you've been fighting become battles fought on your behalf by forces that specialize in victory. This is what it means to live in partnership with the divine, not passively waiting for good things to happen, but actively collaborating with intelligence that knows the end from the beginning. Not striving in your own strength, but resting in strength that never diminishes. Not depending on human understanding, but trusting in wisdom that has never made a mistake. The prayer journey we're about to take together will forever change how you approach every challenge, every opportunity, every relationship, every decision in your life. You'll discover what it means to have supernatural backing for natural responsibilities. You'll experience what happens when divine strategy meets human obedience. You'll learn the joy of seeing impossible situations become launching pads for miraculous breakthrough. But most importantly, you'll discover the peace that comes from knowing you're never alone in any battle you face. The confidence that emerges when you realize unlimited power is available for every situation you encounter. the rest that flows when you understand that divine love is fighting for you even when you're not fighting for yourself. Tonight, everything changes. Tonight, human limitation meets divine intervention. Tonight, your struggles become the raw material for supernatural victory. Tonight, you discover what it means to sleep in the confidence that while you rest, infinite love is working on your behalf in ways that will exceed your highest expectations. The prayer that follows isn't just about tonight. It's about establishing a new way of living where every challenge becomes an opportunity for divine intervention, where every problem becomes a platform for supernatural solution, where every impossibility becomes an invitation for miraculous breakthrough, where every night becomes a sacred partnership with forces that never sleep and never stop working for your highest good. Now I want you to close your eyes and feel the weight of this moment. Feel the presence that's already surrounding you, even before we speak a single word. There's something shifting in the atmosphere around your life right now. The very air you're breathing is charged with possibility. The space you occupy has become sacred ground where heaven touches earth and miracles are born. What you're about to experience isn't just a prayer. It's a portal into a realm where your deepest struggles meet infinite solutions, where your greatest fears encounter perfect love, where your impossible circumstances collide with unlimited power. The words we're about to speak together will echo through dimensions you cannot see, activating forces that have been waiting for this exact moment to move on your behalf. I need you to understand something that will transform how you approach every challenge for the rest of your life. The God who created billions of galaxies, who breathes life into every living thing, who holds the universe together by the power of his word, knows your name. He knows the sound of your voice when you whisper prayers in the darkness. He knows the weight of every burden you carry. He knows the depth of every wound that still aches in your heart. But more than knowing your struggles, he's already prepared your victory. Before you ever faced your current battles, divine strategy was being crafted for your breakthrough. Before your problems ever existed, supernatural solutions were being positioned. Before you ever felt overwhelmed, infinite strength was being allocated specifically for your situation. This isn't coincidence or wishful thinking. This is the reality of how deeply you are loved by the source of all existence. Every sleepless night you've endured has been witnessed by eyes that never close. Every tear you've shed has been collected by hands that wipe away all sorrow. Every moment you've felt alone has been surrounded by a presence that never abandons his children. Tonight, we're going to speak directly to that presence. We're going to acknowledge the reality of divine love that's been fighting for you even when you didn't know how to fight for yourself. We're going to surrender every burden you've been carrying into hands that specialize in carrying what seems too heavy for human strength. But before we begin, I want you to release something that might be hindering your ability to receive what's being offered. Let go of any disappointment from prayers that seem to go unanswered. Release any hurt from times when you trusted and felt let down. Surrender any doubt about whether divine love really cares about the details of your life. Those experiences weren't evidence of divine absence. They were preparation for divine abundance. Every delay you've experienced has been divine timing working perfectly to prepare you for blessings you couldn't have handled earlier. Every closed door has been protection from paths that would have led away from your highest purpose. Every no you've received has been clearing the way for a yes that will exceed your greatest expectations. The prayer we're entering into now acknowledges this truth. It recognizes that divine love has been working behind the scenes of your life, orchestrating circumstances for your ultimate good. It aligns your heart with purposes that exceed your current understanding, but never exceed divine faithfulness. As we begin, I want you to feel every muscle in your body releasing tension. Let your shoulders drop. Allow your jaw to relax. Feel the tightness leaving your chest as you prepare to breathe in peace that surpasses all understanding. This isn't just physical relaxation. This is spiritual surrender. This is your entire being acknowledging that you don't have to carry these burdens alone anymore. The presence that's with you right now has carried the weight of every human sorrow, has walked through every type of suffering you could ever experience, has conquered every enemy you could ever face, has overcome every obstacle you could ever encounter. The same power that spoke light into darkness is about to speak breakthrough into your situation. Feel that truth settling into your spirit. Let it sink deeper than your doubts, deeper than your fears, deeper than your disappointments. Allow divine love to touch places in your heart that have been protected by walls of hurt and confusion. This is safe space. This is holy ground. This is where miracles are born and impossibilities are transformed into testimonies. Now, with your heart open and your spirit surrendered, let's enter into this sacred conversation with the one who holds your future in loving hands. Let's speak to the God who never sleeps, never grows weary, and never stops working on behalf of those who trust in his goodness. Heavenly Father, creator of all that exists, sustainer of every breath, source of every blessing, I come before you tonight carrying the weight of burdens that have grown too heavy for human strength. I acknowledge that you see everything I face, know everything I feel, and understand everything I need before I even speak the words. Tonight I choose to surrender, not in defeat, but in faith, not in desperation, but in trust. Not because I've given up, but because I recognize that your ways are higher than my ways, your thoughts higher than my thoughts, and your power greater than any challenge I could ever face. I surrender my financial worries into your hands. Every bill that keeps me awake at night, every debt that feels crushing, every need that seems impossible to meet. You own the cattle on 1,000 hills. You hold the wealth of nations in your hands. You are the God who provides for every creature you've made, and I trust that you will provide for me according to your riches in glory. I surrender my relationship struggles into your care. Every broken connection that brings me pain, every conflict that seems impossible to resolve, every loneliness that echoes in my heart. You are the God who heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. You specialize in restoration that exceeds original design. Work in these relationships according to your perfect will. I surrender my health concerns into your healing hands. Every symptom that frightens me, every diagnosis that threatens my peace, every physical limitation that constrains my life. You are the God who formed me in my mother's womb, who knows every cell of my body, who has power over sickness and disease. Touch me with your healing presence and restore me to wholeness. I surrender my dreams and aspirations into your purposes. Every vision that seems impossible, every goal that feels out of reach, every calling that intimidates me with its magnitude. You are the God who gives dreams and provides the means to fulfill them. Align my desires with your will and open doors that no one can shut. I surrender my fears about the future into your sovereignty. Every uncertainty that haunts my thoughts, every possibility that fills me with dread, every unknown that robs me of peace. You hold the future in your hands. You go before me to prepare the way. You work all things together for good, for those who love you and are called according to your purpose. I surrender my family into your protection. Every loved one who faces their own battles, every child who needs your guidance, every relationship that needs your blessing. Cover them with your love, surround them with your angels, and work in their lives in ways that draw them closer to you and to each other. I surrender my emotions into your peace. Every anxiety that torments me, every depression that weighs me down, every anger that consumes my thoughts, every hurt that refuses to heal. You are close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. Fill me with your joy, your peace, your love, and your hope. Father, I ask that while I sleep tonight you would fight battles I cannot fight. Move in situations I cannot change. Open doors I cannot open. Provide resources I cannot access. Heal wounds I cannot reach. Restore what I cannot repair. Make ways where I see no way. I pray that your angels would surround my home tonight. Let them establish a hedge of protection around everything that belongs to me. Let no weapon formed against me prosper. Let every plan of the enemy fail. Let your purposes prevail in every area of my life. I ask that you would speak to me in my dreams tonight. Give me divine strategies for the challenges I face. Download your wisdom into my spirit. Show me opportunities I haven't seen. Reveal solutions I haven't considered. Prepare me for breakthrough I haven't imagined. Father, I pray that you would work in my circumstances while I rest. Soften hearts that have been hardened against me. Change minds that have been set against your purposes for my life. Move people into position who can help advance your plans. Remove obstacles that have been blocking my progress. I declare that this night marks a turning point in my story. That breakthrough begins now, even as I surrender into sleep. That your power is perfected in my weakness, that your strength is made manifest in my vulnerability, that your glory will be revealed through my testimony. I thank you that you never sleep or slumber, that while my eyes close, yours remain open, watching over me with perfect love, that while my strength fails, yours never diminishes, that while my understanding is limited, yours is infinite. I rest tonight knowing that you are fighting for me, that you are working all things for my good, that you have plans to prosper me and not to harm me, to give me hope and a future. I sleep in the confidence that comes from being your beloved child. Let your presence fill this room now. Let your peace guard my heart and mind. Let your love cast out every fear. Let your joy be my strength. Let your hope anchor my soul. Let your faith arise in my spirit. I declare that no evil shall befall me tonight. No plague shall come near my dwelling. You will command your angels concerning me to guard me in all my ways. In your presence is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore. Father, I pray for supernatural rest tonight. Not just physical sleep, but spiritual renewal. Restore my soul like still waters. Lead me in paths of righteousness for your name's sake. Even though I walk through valleys of shadow, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. I surrender every worry that tries to steal my peace, every thought that attempts to rob my rest, every fear that seeks to disturb my sleep. I cast all my cares upon you because you care for me. You have not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind. Let this be a night of divine visitation. Come and minister to my heart. Heal every broken place. Mend every torn area. Restore every damaged part. Make me whole in every way that matters. Let me wake tomorrow more like you than when I laid down tonight. I pray that your favor would surround me like a shield, that your goodness and mercy would follow me all the days of my life, that I would dwell in your house forever. That my cup would overflow with your blessings, that I would lack no good thing. Father, I declare that you are able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that I ask or think, according to the power that works in me, that nothing is too hard for you, that with you all things are possible, that you are the God of the impossible, the miraculous, the supernatural. I rest tonight in your faithfulness, in your unchanging nature, in your everlasting love, in your mighty power, in your perfect wisdom, in your sovereign control. You are the same yesterday, today, and forever. What you have promised, you are able also to perform. Let breakthrough begin tonight. Let healing flow tonight. Let provision come tonight. Let relationships be restored tonight. Let dreams be revived tonight. Let hope be renewed tonight. Let faith be strengthened tonight. Let love be multiplied tonight. I declare that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. That though sorrow may last for the night, your joy will come with the dawn. That you turn mourning into dancing, sorrow into joy, ashes into beauty, despair into hope. Father, I thank you for hearing this prayer. I thank you for your faithfulness to answer. I thank you for your power to perform. I thank you for your love that never fails. I thank you for your grace that is sufficient. I thank you for your mercy that is new every morning. I sleep tonight knowing that I am loved beyond measure, protected beyond understanding, provided for beyond my ability to comprehend, blessed beyond my capacity to contain, favored beyond what I deserve, chosen beyond what I could earn. Let your presence be my pillow tonight. Let your love be my blanket. Let your peace be my rest. Let your joy be my dreams. Let your hope be my awakening. Let your strength be my rising. Let your blessing be my portion. I declare that this prayer is sealed in heaven, that angels have received their assignments, that divine intervention is activated, that supernatural breakthrough is released, that miraculous provision is dispatched, that healing virtue is flowing, that restoration power is moving. Father, I rest now in complete trust, in absolute surrender, in perfect peace, in confident expectation, in joyful anticipation, in grateful acknowledgement of your goodness. I sleep as your beloved child, secure in your arms, safe in your care, surrounded by your love. While I sleep, fight for me. While I rest, work for me. While I dream, speak to me. While I'm unconscious, be conscious of me. While I'm vulnerable, protect me. While I'm weak, be strong for me. While I'm limited, be unlimited for me. Let this night be remembered as the night everything changed, the night breakthrough began, the night miracles were birthed, the night hope was restored, the night faith was renewed, the night love conquered fear, the night your glory was revealed. I declare that I will sleep in peace and wake in victory, rest in surrender and rise in strength, dream in hope and awaken in joy. Lie down in trust and stand up in triumph. Close my eyes in faith and open them in thanksgiving. Thank you, Father, for this sacred moment, for this holy encounter, for this divine exchange, for receiving my burdens and giving me your peace, for taking my fears and giving me your courage, for accepting my weaknesses and imparting your strength. I am yours, and you are mine. Nothing can separate me from your love. Nothing can remove me from your care. Nothing can steal me from your hands. I belong to you, and you will never let me go. In this truth, I find perfect rest. Father, as I prepare to sleep, I want to acknowledge something that brings me profound peace. You have never lost a battle. You have never failed to keep a promise. You have never abandoned one of your children. You have never been overcome by any force. You have never been surprised by any circumstance. You have never run out of resources. You have never lacked wisdom for any situation. This same God who has never failed anyone is the God who is fighting for me tonight. The same power that has conquered every enemy throughout history is the power that's engaged on my behalf. The same love that has never given up on anyone is the love that will never give up on me. I rest tonight not just in your promises, but in your proven track record. Not just in your words, but in your works. Not just in your character, but in your consistency. You are the God who does what you say you will do. You are faithful to perform what you promise. While I sleep tonight, work miracles that only you can work. Do the impossible that only you can do. Provide in ways that only you can provide. Heal in ways that only you can heal. Restore in ways that only you can restore. Open doors that only you can open. Let my sleep tonight be the most spiritually productive hours of my day. Let my rest become the most strategically significant part of my life. Let my dreams become the classroom where you teach me your ways. Let my unconscious hours become conscious collaboration with your purposes. I declare that when I wake tomorrow, I will wake to evidence of your nighttime activity. I will see signs of your supernatural intervention. I will discover proof of your faithful working. I will find manifestations of your promised breakthrough. Father, I love you with all my heart. I trust you with all my life. I surrender to you with all my being. I rest in you with all my soul. Thank you for loving me, choosing me, protecting me, providing for me, and never giving up on me. In the name of Jesus, who gave his life for mine, who conquered death for my victory, who rose again for my hope, I pray with confidence, knowing that you hear me, you love me, and you will answer according to your perfect will and perfect timing. Now, Father, I release every burden into your capable hands. I surrender every fear into your perfect love. I place every dream into your sovereign purposes. I commit every relationship into your healing grace. I entrust every need into your abundant supply. While I sleep tonight, be my strength, be my peace, be my provision, be my protection, be my hope, be my joy, be my everything. You are all I need, and in you I lack nothing. I sleep now as your beloved child, secure in your love, confident in your care, expectant of your goodness, grateful for your faithfulness, and excited about the breakthrough that begins tonight while you fight for me. Thank you, Father. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for fighting for me. Thank you for the victory that's already mine. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, beloved, as you settle into rest, feel the presence of divine love surrounding you like a warm embrace. Feel the peace that passes understanding filling every anxious thought. Feel the strength of Almighty God undergirding every area of weakness in your life. You are not alone tonight. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are deeply loved, completely protected, and fully provided for by the God who never sleeps. While you rest, he works. While you dream, he moves. While you sleep, he fights for you. Close your eyes now with confidence. Rest with assurance. Sleep with expectation. Tomorrow, you will wake to discover what infinite love accomplished while you trusted him enough to let go and let him work. Your breakthrough begins tonight. Your miracle starts now. Your victory is already in motion. Sleep well, beloved child of God. While you sleep, God is fighting for you, and he never loses a battle. Let me tell you what happens in the spiritual realm the moment your head touches that pillow tonight. While your conscious mind releases its grip on the day's concerns, a supernatural shift takes place that most people never recognize. The atmosphere around your life becomes charged with divine activity. Angels who have been waiting in the wings receive their marching orders. Heavenly resources that have been held in reserve are suddenly released for deployment in your situation. But here's what makes tonight different from every other night you've ever experienced. You're not just hoping that something good might happen while you sleep. You're not crossing your fingers and wishing for the best. You've entered into a covenant partnership with forces that have never known defeat, never run out of resources, and never abandoned anyone who placed their trust in divine assistance. The prayer you just prayed didn't disappear into empty space. Those words are echoing through dimensions you cannot see, activating ancient promises that were spoken over your life before you were even born. Every request you made has been heard by ears that never miss a single whisper. Every concern you surrendered has been received by hands that specialize in carrying what seems too heavy for human strength. Right now, as you prepare to surrender into rest, divine intelligence is calculating solutions to problems you've struggled with for years. Supernatural wisdom is designing strategies for situations that have seemed impossible to resolve. Infinite love is orchestrating circumstances that will position you for breakthrough in ways you never could have planned or predicted. I want you to understand something profound about the nature of divine intervention. It doesn't operate according to human schedules or natural limitations. While you sleep tonight, time itself becomes a tool in the hands of eternal purposes. Hours that seem short to your resting body become eternities of opportunity for supernatural activity. Minutes that pass unnoticed by your dreaming mind become moments when miracles are conceived and breakthrough is birthed. The same God who compressed all of creation into 6 days and then rested on the seventh understands the power of strategic rest. The same divine intelligence that speaks worlds into existence with a word knows how to accomplish in one night what you couldn't achieve in a lifetime of striving. The same love that gave everything for your redemption is willing to move heaven and earth to see you walk in the fullness of what's been prepared for you. But I need you to understand that what happens tonight isn't limited to tonight. The spiritual momentum that's released through your surrender will continue building day after day, week after week, month after month. The divine intervention that begins while you sleep will continue working while you're awake. The supernatural breakthrough that's activated in the darkness will manifest in the light of day. You're not just receiving a one-time blessing. You're stepping into a lifestyle of partnership with infinite power. You're not just getting help with current problems. You're establishing a foundation for continuous victory that will impact every area of your life for years to come. You're not just experiencing temporary relief. You're accessing permanent transformation that will change not only your circumstances, but your very identity. Let me share with you what I've witnessed when people truly grasp the magnitude of what's available to them through this level of surrender. I've seen individuals who were drowning in debt suddenly discover opportunities they never knew existed. People who had given up on broken relationships watch as divine love performed restoration miracles that exceeded their wildest dreams. Individuals facing health crises experience supernatural healing that medical professionals couldn't explain. But the most remarkable transformations I've observed haven't been in external circumstances, though those changes are often dramatic. The deepest shifts happen in the human heart when it truly encounters divine faithfulness. When you experience supernatural intervention at this level, something fundamental changes in how you see yourself, your problems, and your possibilities. Fear loses its grip because you discover you're protected by forces that have never been defeated. Anxiety diminishes because you realize that solutions are being prepared for problems you haven't even encountered yet. Desperation fades because you understand that unlimited resources are available to you. Loneliness disappears because you recognize that you're never truly alone, even in the darkest hours. Tonight, as you rest in the confidence of divine partnership, I want you to release something that might be hindering your ability to receive the fullness of what's being offered. Let go of any need to understand exactly how your breakthrough will come. Surrender any desire to control the methods divine wisdom chooses to use. Release any requirement that the answers arrive according to your timeline or through channels you recognize. Divine intervention often operates through means that seem completely unrelated to the problems they're addressing. Supernatural solutions frequently arrive through doors you never thought to knock on. Miraculous provision often flows through streams you never knew existed. Healing sometimes comes through paths you never would have chosen to walk. This is why trust becomes so crucial. When you release control over how your breakthrough manifests, you create space for miracles that exceed your imagination. When you stop dictating the methods, you open yourself to interventions that surpass your expectations. When you trust divine strategy more than human logic, you position yourself for outcomes that defy natural limitations. The spiritual realm operates by principles that often seem backward to human understanding. Strength is perfected in weakness. Victory comes through surrender. Breakthrough happens when you stop striving and start trusting. The greatest battles are won, not through human effort, but through divine intervention that flows when people get out of the way and let infinite wisdom work. This is why your sleep tonight becomes so spiritually significant. It represents the ultimate act of surrender. When you close your eyes and release conscious control, you create the perfect environment for supernatural activity. Your spirit becomes receptive to downloads of divine intelligence. Your heart opens to receive solutions that your mind could never calculate. Your life becomes positioned for interventions that exceed your ability to orchestrate. But I want to prepare you for something that might surprise you as divine intervention begins working more actively in your life. Not everyone around you will understand or celebrate what's happening. Some people have become so accustomed to struggle that they're uncomfortable with breakthrough. Some individuals have built their identity around problems rather than solutions. Some relationships have been founded on shared complaints rather than shared victories. As supernatural favor begins manifesting in your circumstances, some connections may shift, some friendships may change, some family dynamics may need adjustment. This isn't something to fear, but something to anticipate and navigate with wisdom. Divine love is always drawing you toward relationships and environments that support your highest purpose. Sometimes this means releasing connections that were holding you back, even if they felt comfortable or familiar. Sometimes it means stepping away from environments that were limiting your potential, even if they seemed safe or secure. Sometimes it means saying no to opportunities that seem good, so you can say yes to opportunities that are great. The supernatural intervention that's activated in your life tonight will accelerate this process of alignment. As you partner with divine purposes, everything in your life that's not serving those purposes will become increasingly uncomfortable. Jobs that don't fulfill your calling will feel constraining. Relationships that drain your spirit will become obviously unhealthy. Habits that limit your potential will lose their appeal. This isn't divine punishment or spiritual warfare. This is divine love, creating healthy dissatisfaction with anything less than what you were created for. It's supernatural wisdom, making it impossible for you to settle for mediocrity when excellence is available. It's infinite intelligence ensuring that you don't get distracted by good things when great things are waiting. As you sleep tonight, I want you to remain open not just to immediate relief from current problems, but to complete transformation of your entire life trajectory. Don't just expect your present challenges to be resolved, expect your life to be elevated to a level where those types of challenges can no longer touch you. Don't just anticipate healing for existing wounds. Anticipate wholeness that prevents future injury. The divine realm responds to the largeness of human hearts. When you dream small, you receive small. When you think big, you receive big. When you surrender completely, you receive completely. The prayers you prayed tonight were worthy of the infinite love that's fighting for you. The requests you made matched the unlimited resources that are available to you. The expectations you declared aligned with the extraordinary plans that have been prepared for your life. Your spirit has encountered truth tonight that will shatter every limitation you've accepted as permanent. The declarations you made weren't just words spoken into empty space. They were activations of ancient promises made specifically for moments like this, when human strength reaches its end and divine intervention becomes the only path forward. Every challenge you're facing right now, every obstacle that seems immovable, every situation that appears hopeless exists because there's something magnificent waiting on the other side that requires supernatural assistance to reach. The magnitude of your struggles has been proportional to the magnitude of the breakthrough that's been prepared for you. Think about the greatest victories in human history. They didn't emerge from easy circumstances or simple solutions. They came from impossible situations where only divine intervention could create a way forward. Miracles happen when human impossibility meets divine possibility. Tonight, you're positioned at that exact intersection. Your impossibilities are about to encounter infinite possibility. Your limitations are about to meet unlimited power. Your confusion is about to be touched by divine wisdom that knows the end from the beginning. The very areas where you feel most defeated are about to become the stages where supernatural victory is displayed most gloriously. The battles you've been fighting alone are now battles fought by armies you cannot see. The problems you've been trying to solve with limited understanding are now encountering wisdom that has no boundaries. The dreams you've been pursuing with finite resources are now receiving backing from supply that never runs out. But beyond addressing your specific needs, tonight has established something even more significant in your life. It has created a new normal where divine partnership becomes your default approach to every challenge. Instead of your first response being worry, it will become worship. Instead of your immediate reaction being fear, it will become faith. Instead of your natural tendency being to strive, it will become to surrender. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it began tonight. Every time you choose trust over anxiety, you strengthen spiritual muscles. Every moment you select faith over fear, you build supernatural capacity. Every instance you pick surrender over striving, you create more space for divine intervention to flow freely in your life. The enemy of your soul understands the power of what was released through your prayer tonight. That's why you might experience some resistance in the coming days. Distracting thoughts might try to make you forget the breakthrough that's been activated. Doubts might attempt to undermine the faith you expressed. Past disappointments might whisper accusations about divine faithfulness. These are not random occurrences. They're strategic attempts to steal what was deposited in your spirit tonight. But here's what you need to know about spiritual opposition. It only shows up when something significant is happening. The intensity of resistance is actually evidence of the magnitude of breakthrough that's approaching. Every distraction you overcome strengthens your spiritual authority. Every doubt you reject increases your capacity to receive divine intervention. Every fear you surrender makes more space for supernatural peace to fill your heart. The opposition isn't evidence of divine absence. It's proof of divine activity that enemy forces desperately want to prevent. As you drift into sleep tonight, feel the shift that's already taking place in the spiritual atmosphere around your life. Divine attention is focused on your situation with laser precision. Angels are positioned for assignments they've been waiting to fulfill. Supernatural resources have been allocated specifically for your breakthrough. The same power that spoke light into darkness is speaking breakthrough into your circumstances. The same love that gave everything for your redemption is working everything for your good. The same wisdom that created and sustains all existence is calculating solutions for every situation that concerns you. Tomorrow, when you wake, you'll wake into a reality where supernatural assistance is actively engaged in every area that matters to you. Where divine wisdom is available for every decision you need to make. Where unlimited resources are backing every dream that aligns with your highest purpose. Where the battles you faced alone are now fought on your behalf by forces that specialize in victory. This is what it means to live in partnership with the divine. Not passively waiting for good things to happen, but actively collaborating with intelligence that orchestrated the universe. Not striving in your own strength, but resting in strength that never diminishes. Not depending on human understanding, but trusting in wisdom that has never made a mistake. The prayer journey you've completed tonight will forever change how you approach every challenge, every opportunity, every relationship, every decision in your life. You've discovered what it means to have supernatural backing for natural responsibilities. You've experienced what happens when divine strategy meets human obedience. You've learned the joy of seeing impossible situations become launching pads for miraculous breakthrough. But most importantly, you've discovered the peace that comes from knowing you're never alone in any battle you face. The confidence that emerges when you realize unlimited power is available for every situation you encounter. The rest that flows when you understand that divine love is fighting for you even when you're not fighting for yourself. Tonight, everything has changed. Tonight, Human limitation met divine intervention. Tonight, your struggles became the raw material for supernatural victory. Tonight, you discovered what it means to sleep in the confidence that while you rest, infinite love is working on your behalf in ways that will exceed your highest expectations. The breakthrough that was activated tonight isn't just about addressing current needs. It's about positioning your life for the fullness of what's been prepared for you from before you were born. It's about aligning with purposes that will impact generations beyond your own lifetime. It's about stepping into a level of partnership with divine intelligence that will revolutionize every area of your existence. The words you spoke tonight will echo in the spiritual realm long after they left your lips. They've created momentum that will build day after day, week after week, month after month. They've established patterns of supernatural intervention that will become the new normal in your life. They've opened doors that will remain open, creating pathways for breakthrough that will continue flowing for years to come. As you settle into rest now, remember that you're not just sleeping, you're entering into the most spiritually active hours of your day. While your body rejuvenates, your spirit will be receiving upgrade after upgrade. While your mind processes the day's events, divine intelligence will be installing new strategies for tomorrow's opportunities. While you dream, supernatural forces will be working in your waking reality to prepare breakthrough that will astonish you. The God who never sleeps is watching over you tonight. The love that never fails is working for you tonight. The power that never diminishes is fighting for you tonight. The wisdom that never errs is planning for you tonight. The provision that never runs out is being prepared for you tonight. Sleep now in perfect peace, beloved child of God. Rest in complete confidence. Dream with unlimited expectation. While you sleep, miracles are being birthed. While you rest, breakthrough is being prepared. While you dream, victory is being won. Your story is about to be rewritten by the hand of divine love. Your circumstances are about to be transformed by supernatural power. Your future is about to be secured by infinite wisdom. Your life is about to be blessed beyond your ability to contain. Tonight marks the beginning of the greatest chapter of your life. While you sleep, God is fighting for you, working for you, providing for you, healing you, restoring you, and preparing breakthrough that will leave you speechless with gratitude. Rest now knowing that you are loved beyond measure, protected beyond understanding, and blessed beyond your capacity to comprehend. The battle is won. The victory is yours. The breakthrough begins tonight. While you sleep, God is fighting for you, and He never loses. Sleep now with the profound understanding that your rest tonight is unlike any rest you've ever experienced before. This isn't passive unconsciousness where nothing significant happens. This is active collaboration with forces that operate beyond the limitations of time and space. Every breath you take while sleeping becomes a rhythm synchronized with divine purposes. Every heartbeat becomes a drum keeping time with supernatural activity orchestrated specifically for your breakthrough. As your eyelids grow heavy and your consciousness begins to fade, something extraordinary is taking place in dimensions you cannot perceive. The spiritual realm is mobilizing resources that have been held in reserve, waiting for this exact moment when your surrender creates the perfect conditions for miraculous intervention. Angels who have been standing by receive detailed assignments related to your specific situation. Divine wisdom calculates solutions to problems that have plagued you for months or years. But I want you to understand something that will transform how you view every challenging circumstance you'll ever face again. The difficulties you've been wrestling with aren't random attacks on your peace and happiness. They're not evidence that you've been forgotten or abandoned by divine love. Instead, they're strategic resistance to prevent you from stepping into the magnitude of blessing that's been prepared for your life. Think about this profound truth. If your dreams were insignificant, If your calling was meaningless, if your potential was limited, there would be no opposition to your progress. The intensity of the battles you've fought is actually evidence of the extraordinary destiny that awaits your discovery. The greater the resistance, the more magnificent the breakthrough that's being protected on the other side. This revelation should fill you with hope rather than discouragement. Every sleepless night you've endured has been developing your capacity to appreciate supernatural rest. Every financial struggle you've faced has been expanding your ability to steward supernatural provision. Every relationship challenge you've navigated has been preparing you to value divine restoration. Every health concern you've battled has been increasing your gratitude for supernatural healing. Nothing you've walked through has been wasted. Every trial has been preparing you for triumph. Every valley has been developing your appreciation for mountaintop experiences. Every wilderness season has been cultivating your dependence on divine guidance. Every storm you've weathered has been strengthening your ability to trust in supernatural peace. Tonight, as you surrender into sleep, you're not just ending another difficult day. You're closing the final chapter of a season where you carried burdens that were never meant for human shoulders. You're concluding a phase of life where you fought battles with limited resources and finite understanding. You're finishing a period where you tried to solve problems that required supernatural intervention. The dawn that's coming will illuminate a completely different landscape. When you wake tomorrow, you'll wake into a reality where divine partnership has become your new normal, where supernatural assistance is actively engaged in every situation that concerns you, where unlimited resources are backing every dream that aligns with your highest purpose, where infinite wisdom is available for every decision you need to make. But let me prepare you for something that might seem counterintuitive. As divine intervention begins manifesting more actively in your life, the enemy of your soul will likely increase his attempts to convince you that nothing has really changed. He'll whisper that your prayer tonight was just emotional release without spiritual substance. He'll suggest that your breakthrough is taking too long to manifest. He'll try to make you forget the covenant you established with divine love. These thoughts aren't random mental noise. They're strategic attacks designed to steal what was deposited in your spirit tonight. But here's what you need to remember when doubt tries to cloud your vision. Spiritual breakthrough often begins in invisible ways before it becomes visible in your circumstances. Seeds planted in supernatural soil sometimes take time to sprout in natural environments. Just because you can't see immediate evidence of divine activity doesn't mean nothing is happening. Some of the most significant miracles in human history required preparation periods that seemed longer than necessary from human perspectives. But when breakthrough finally manifested, everyone recognized that the timing was absolutely perfect and the results exceeded all expectations. Your situation is no different. While you sleep tonight, divine intelligence is orchestrating circumstances with precision that would amaze you if you could perceive the complexity of what's being coordinated. People are being moved into position who will play crucial roles in your breakthrough. Resources are being allocated that will provide for needs you haven't even identified yet. Opportunities are being prepared that will open doors you never thought to approach. The same God who spent generations preparing the perfect moment for divine intervention in human history is taking whatever time is necessary to prepare the perfect breakthrough for your life. The same wisdom that coordinates the movement of planets and stars is managing the details of your circumstances with equal precision and care. This is why rest becomes such a powerful spiritual discipline. When you stop striving and start trusting, you create space for divine activity that exceeds human capability. When you release control and embrace surrender, you position yourself for interventions that surpass natural limitations. When you choose faith over fear, you align with forces that have never known defeat. Tonight, your sleep becomes a declaration of trust in divine faithfulness. Every moment of rest becomes a statement of confidence in supernatural provision. Every peaceful breath becomes a testimony of faith in infinite love. You're not just sleeping because your body needs recovery. You're resting because your spirit recognizes that the most important work is being done by hands far more capable than your own. I want you to imagine for a moment what's happening in the spiritual realm right now as you prepare to close your eyes. Picture divine light penetrating every area of darkness in your life. Visualize supernatural healing flowing through every part of your being that needs restoration. See unlimited provision being prepared for every financial need you're facing. Watch miraculous reconciliation being orchestrated for every broken relationship that matters to you. This isn't fantasy or wishful thinking. This is faith recognizing reality that exists whether you acknowledge it or not. The difference is that when you align with this truth consciously, you position yourself to experience its benefits actively rather than missing them through doubt or distraction. Your prayer tonight activated ancient promises that were spoken over your life before you were even conceived. Every word you spoke aligned with divine will that was established before the foundation of the world. Every request you made connected with purposes that have been unfolding since the beginning of time. Every declaration you voiced partnered with love that has never failed and never will. The supernatural realm has been waiting for this moment when your surrender would create the perfect conditions for miraculous intervention. Angels have been standing by, eager to receive assignments related to your breakthrough. Divine resources have been accumulating, ready to be released at exactly the right moment. Supernatural strategies have been crafted, waiting for your faith to provide the authorization for their implementation. But beyond addressing your immediate needs, tonight has established something far more significant in your life. It has created a new foundation where divine partnership becomes your default approach to every challenge you'll ever face. Instead of your first response being anxiety, it will become anticipation of supernatural intervention. Instead of your immediate reaction being despair, it will become declaration of divine faithfulness. This transformation doesn't happen instantly, but it begins immediately. Every time you choose to remember the covenant you established tonight, instead of focusing on current circumstances, you strengthen spiritual muscles. Every moment you select trust over worry, you build supernatural capacity. Every instance you pick faith over fear, you create more space for divine intervention to flow freely. The enemy understands the power of what was released through your surrender tonight. That's why he'll work overtime to make you forget the significance of this moment. He'll try to convince you that nothing supernatural occurred. He'll attempt to reduce tonight's experience to mere emotional catharsis without spiritual substance. He'll whisper that your problems are too complex for divine solutions. But you have something now that you didn't have before tonight. You have the memory of genuine encounter with divine love. You have the experience of authentic surrender to supernatural power. You have the testimony of real partnership with infinite wisdom. These aren't just emotional memories, they're spiritual realities that have created permanent changes in your relationship with divine assistance. Every time doubt tries to steal your peace, remember the moment you felt divine presence surrounding you like a warm embrace. Every time fear attempts to rob your rest, recall the sensation of supernatural love, casting out anxiety from your heart. Every time worry seeks to disturb your sleep, return to the truth that infinite power is actively working on your behalf. The breakthrough that was activated tonight isn't dependent on your ability to maintain perfect faith every moment. It's established by divine faithfulness that never wavers, even when human confidence fluctuates. It's secured by supernatural love that never fails, even when human understanding falters. It's guaranteed by infinite power that never diminishes, even when human strength gives out. This means you can rest tonight without the pressure of having to maintain some impossible standard of unwavering trust. You can sleep peacefully, knowing that divine intervention doesn't depend on your performance, but on divine character. You can surrender into unconsciousness with confidence that supernatural activity continues even when your awareness fades. Your part was to surrender. Divine love's part is to work. Your responsibility was to release control. Supernatural power's responsibility is to create breakthrough. Your role was to trust. Infinite wisdom's role is to provide solutions. You've done your part. Now let divine faithfulness do what only divine faithfulness can do. As you drift towards sleep, feel every muscle in your body releasing the tension it's carried from trying to solve problems that required supernatural intervention. Let your mind stop racing through scenarios and strategies, knowing that divine intelligence is calculating perfect solutions. Allow your heart to stop carrying burdens that belong in hands far more capable than your own. This surrender isn't giving up. It's stepping up into partnership with forces that never fail. This rest isn't resignation. It's recognition that the most important battles are fought in spiritual dimensions, where human strength is inadequate but divine power is unlimited. This sleep isn't escape from reality. It's entrance into the reality where miracles are normal and breakthrough is inevitable. Tomorrow morning, when consciousness returns, you'll wake to discover evidence of supernatural activity that occurred while you rested. Maybe it will be a phone call that opens an unexpected door. Perhaps it will be an idea that provides the solution you've been seeking. Possibly, it will be an opportunity that appears from nowhere, just when you need it most. Certainly, it will be peace that surpasses understanding, flooding your heart with confidence that everything is working together for your good. But even if the evidence isn't immediately visible, don't let that diminish your confidence in what's happening behind the scenes. Some of the most significant divine interventions require extended preparation periods before they manifest in ways human senses can detect. Some miracles unfold gradually rather than instantaneously. Some breakthroughs require multiple components to align before they become apparent. Your job isn't to figure out the timeline or dictate the methods. Your part is to maintain the trust you expressed tonight, remembering that divine love is working even when you can't see the activity. Your responsibility is to rest in the faithfulness you acknowledged, trusting that supernatural power never stops working on behalf of those who surrender their battles into divine hands. The God who created billions of galaxies and knows each one by name is intimately acquainted with every detail of your situation. The same intelligence that coordinates the orbits of planets and the cycles of seasons is managing the circumstances of your life with equal precision and care. The love that gave everything for your redemption will never withhold anything that's truly beneficial for your life. Sleep now in the absolute confidence that comes from knowing you're not facing tomorrow alone. Rest with the assurance that supernatural assistance is actively engaged in every area that concerns you. Dream with the expectation that comes from partnership with power that has never been defeated by any challenge. While you sleep, divine love is fighting battles you couldn't fight. While you rest, supernatural wisdom is solving problems you couldn't solve. While you dream, infinite power is opening doors you couldn't open. While you're unconscious, eternal love is working miracles you couldn't work. Your breakthrough isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Your victory isn't just probable, it's promised. Your miracle isn't just hoped for, it's already in motion. Your blessing isn't just desired, it's already prepared. The same power that raised the dead is raising dead dreams back to life in your situation. The same love that conquered sin is conquering every obstacle in your path. The same wisdom that created order from chaos is bringing divine order to your circumstances. The same faithfulness that has never failed anyone is working on your behalf right now. Close your eyes now with complete peace. Let go with total confidence. Surrender with absolute trust. Sleep with perfect rest. While you sleep, God is fighting for you, working for you, providing for you, healing you, restoring you, and preparing breakthrough that will exceed every expectation you've ever had. Tomorrow begins a new chapter, where supernatural intervention becomes your daily experience, where divine partnership transforms impossible situations into testimonies of miraculous breakthrough, where infinite love demonstrates its faithfulness through circumstances that will leave you speechless with gratitude. Rest now, beloved child of the Most High God. While you sleep, heaven is moving on your behalf. While you dream, miracles are being prepared. While you rest, victory is being secured. Your breakthrough begins tonight, and nothing can stop what divine love has already set in motion. Sleep in peace, wake in victory. Rest in surrender, rise in strength, dream in hope, awaken in joy. While you sleep, God is fighting for you, and when God fights for you, the outcome is never in doubt. The battle is already won. The victory is already yours. The breakthrough is already guaranteed. Sleep now in the confidence that comes from knowing you're loved beyond measure, protected beyond understanding, and blessed beyond your capacity to contain. While you sleep tonight, God is fighting for you, and He has never lost a battle. Now, as the final moments of consciousness slip away and your spirit settles into the sacred rhythm of divine rest, I want you to feel something profound taking place. In the deepest chambers of your heart, there's a transformation occurring that goes beyond anything you could orchestrate through human effort or willpower. The very essence of who you are is being touched by forces that specialize in making all things new. Feel the weight of every disappointment you've carried beginning to dissolve, every broken promise that wounded your trust, every dream that seemed to die before it could fully bloom. Every relationship that ended in pain rather than peace. Every opportunity that slipped through your fingers just when you thought breakthrough was within reach. All of it is being touched by healing that penetrates deeper than surface wounds to restore places you didn't even know were damaged. This isn't superficial comfort or temporary relief from pain. This is supernatural reconstruction of your capacity to hope, to dream, to trust, to love, to believe again. The same power that breathes life into dead things is breathing new life into areas of your heart that had grown cold from repeated disappointment. The same love that never gives up on anyone is refusing to give up on the dreams you thought were gone forever. Right now, in this sacred moment between waking and sleeping, divine intelligence is downloading strategies for breakthrough that your mind could never conceive. Solutions so elegant, so perfectly timed, so beautifully orchestrated that when they manifest, you'll know beyond any shadow of doubt that human wisdom could never have crafted such intricate perfection. These aren't just answers to your prayers. These are demonstrations of infinite creativity, designing outcomes that exceed your highest expectations. But let me share something with you that will revolutionize how you understand the nature of divine intervention in your life. The breakthrough that's being prepared for you isn't just about fixing what's broken or providing what's missing. It's about elevating your entire existence to a level where the problems you've been fighting become irrelevant, because you've been lifted above the realm where those issues have power to touch you. Imagine a person struggling to breathe underwater, fighting against the pressure, battling against drowning, exhausting themselves trying to survive in an environment where they were never meant to exist. Now imagine that same person being lifted above the water's surface, where breathing becomes effortless, where the pressure disappears, where the struggle ends, not because they conquered the water, but because they were raised above it. This is what divine intervention is preparing for your life. Not just victory within your current circumstances, but elevation above the level where those circumstances can continue to dominate your experience. Not just solutions to existing problems, but transformation of your reality so complete that those types of problems lose their ability to define your story. While you sleep tonight, Supernatural forces are working to lift you into realms of possibility you've never explored, dimensions of blessing you've never experienced, levels of favor you've never imagined, spheres of influence you've never considered. Your life is being repositioned not just for breakthrough, but for sustained victory that continues expanding long after the initial miracle manifests. The same God who took a shepherd boy and made him a king, who took a fisherman and made him a foundational leader, who took the rejected and made them chosen, is taking your current limitations and transforming them into launching pads for extraordinary purpose. Your weaknesses are becoming the very areas where divine strength will be most gloriously displayed. Your failures are becoming the foundation for comeback stories that will inspire generations. Feel this truth settling into the marrow of your bones. You are not a victim of circumstances beyond your control. You are a beloved child of the Most High God, and your story is being rewritten by hands that specialize in impossible transformations. The chapters you thought were endings are actually beginnings. The periods you assumed were conclusions are actually commas leading to greater revelations. Every setback you've experienced has been a setup for comeback. Every loss you've endured has been preparation for restoration that exceeds what was originally taken. Every closed door has been protection from paths that would have led away from the magnificent destiny that awaits your discovery. Divine love has been working behind the scenes of your life, turning what the enemy meant for destruction into raw material for unprecedented blessing. Tonight, as you surrender into rest, you're not just sleeping off the exhaustion of another difficult day. You're entering into the most spiritually productive hours of your existence. While your conscious mind releases its grip on worry and control, your spirit becomes a receptor for downloads of divine intelligence that will revolutionize how you approach every challenge you'll ever face. In your dreams tonight, divine wisdom will be teaching you strategies that earthly education could never provide. Supernatural understanding will be imparted that will give you insight into situations that have confused you for years. Heavenly perspective will be downloaded that will help you see opportunities where you previously only saw obstacles. Divine creativity will be released that will inspire solutions you never would have considered. But beyond receiving new information, something far more significant is taking place in your spirit. Your very identity is being realigned with truth about who you are in the heart of divine love. Every lie the enemy has whispered about your worth is being overwritten with declarations of your incredible value. Every accusation about your past is being replaced with prophecies about your future. Every limitation you've accepted is being shattered by revelations of your unlimited potential. You are not who your circumstances have told you that you are. You are not defined by your struggles, your failures, your mistakes, or your limitations. You are a masterpiece created by infinite love, designed for extraordinary purpose, destined for supernatural breakthrough, and equipped with everything necessary to fulfill the magnificent calling that has been placed upon your life. The same power that spoke galaxies into existence spoke your name before the foundation of the world. The same love that gave everything for redemption has been working everything together for your good since the moment you were conceived. The same wisdom that coordinates the complexity of creation has been orchestrating the details of your breakthrough with precision that will astound you when it's revealed. While you rest tonight, feel divine love surrounding every fear that has haunted your thoughts. Let supernatural peace penetrate every anxiety that has stolen your sleep. Allow infinite strength to undergird every area where you felt overwhelmed by life's demands. Experience unlimited wisdom flooding every situation where you felt confused about which direction to take. This isn't positive thinking or mental manipulation. This is spiritual reality becoming your experienced truth. This is divine nature transforming human limitation. This is supernatural intervention creating natural breakthrough. This is infinite love, demonstrating its faithfulness through circumstances that will become testimonies of miraculous provision. But I want to prepare you for something beautiful that's about to unfold in your life. As divine intervention begins manifesting more visibly, you're going to discover that the breakthrough isn't just for you. The miracle you receive is going to become a source of hope for others who are fighting similar battles. The testimony you gain is going to become encouragement for people who have almost given up on their own dreams. Divine love rarely works miracles in isolation. The blessing you receive is designed to overflow into the lives of everyone connected to you. The provision that comes your way will create opportunities for you to be a blessing to others. The healing you experience will position you to minister healing to wounded hearts around you. The restoration you witness will equip you to help others find their way back from disappointment to hope. Your breakthrough is not just about your individual blessing. It's about your preparation for greater service, expanded influence, and increased capacity to be an instrument of divine love in a world that desperately needs to witness authentic miracles. The victory you're about to experience will become a weapon of hope in the hands of others who are still fighting battles you're about to win. This understanding should fill you with even greater excitement about what's being prepared for your life. You're not just receiving help with your problems, you're being equipped for extraordinary purpose. You're not just getting answers to your prayers, you're being prepared to become an answer to someone else's prayers. You're not just experiencing breakthrough, you're being positioned to facilitate breakthrough for others. The same compassion that moved divine love to intervene in your impossible situation will flow through you to touch impossible situations in the lives of people you haven't even met yet. The same power that creates miracles in your circumstances will work through you to create miracles in circumstances beyond your current imagination. The same wisdom that provides perfect solutions for your challenges will use you to provide solutions for challenges facing your community, your family, your sphere of influence. As you drift toward sleep tonight, let this truth expand your vision beyond personal breakthrough to generational impact. You're not just being blessed, you're being prepared to be a blessing. You're not just receiving favor, you're being positioned to extend favor. You're not just experiencing restoration, you're being equipped to facilitate restoration. The God who wastes nothing is transforming every painful experience you've endured into wisdom that will help others navigate similar difficulties. Every valley you've walked through is becoming expertise that will guide others to mountaintop experiences. Every wilderness season you've survived is developing in you the ability to lead others to promised land breakthrough. Your story is being written not just for your joy, but for the hope of countless others who will need to know that if God can do the impossible in your life, He can do the impossible in theirs too. Your testimony is being crafted not just for your encouragement, but for the faith building of people who will hear what divine love accomplished through your surrender and decide to surrender their own battles into the same faithful hands. Feel the magnitude of this calling settling over your spirit like a mantle of divine assignment. You're not just someone who receives miracles. You're being prepared to become someone through whom miracles flow to others. You're not just a beneficiary of divine intervention. You're being equipped to become a conduit of divine intervention. This doesn't add pressure to your rest tonight. Instead, it adds purpose that makes your rest even more significant. Every moment of peace you experience is preparing you to become a source of peace for others. Every solution you receive is developing your ability to help others find solutions. Every breakthrough you witness is equipping you to help others break through barriers that seem insurmountable. The supernatural realm is investing in your breakthrough not just because of what it will do for you, but because of what it will do through you. The divine intelligence that's solving your problems is simultaneously preparing you to become a problem solver for others. The infinite love that's healing your wounds is simultaneously preparing you to become a healer of wounds in the lives of people who will cross your path. Sleep tonight knowing that your rest is strategic, not just for your recovery, but for your preparation. Dream with the understanding that divine downloads aren't just for your benefit, but for the benefit of everyone who will be touched by your transformed life. Surrender into unconsciousness with confidence that while you sleep, you're being prepared for purposes that extend far beyond your current understanding. The same God who turned a crucifixion into resurrection, who transformed the greatest tragedy in human history into the greatest victory, is turning every tragedy in your story into triumph that will inspire others to believe in the possibility of their own miraculous turnaround. Your pain is becoming power, your struggles are becoming strength, your tests are becoming testimonies. While you sleep tonight, divine love is not only solving your problems, but also developing your capacity to help solve problems for others. Supernatural wisdom is not only providing your answers, but also preparing you to provide answers for questions you haven't been asked yet. Infinite power is not only creating your breakthrough, but also equipping you to help create breakthrough for people who don't even know they need breakthrough yet. This is the beauty of divine intervention. It never stops with individual blessing. It always flows through blessed individuals to create blessing for others. It never ends with personal victory. It always uses victorious people to create victory for others. It never concludes with individual restoration. It always flows through restored people to create restoration for others. As you close your eyes tonight, feel the weight and wonder of this divine design. You're not just going to sleep as someone who needs help. You're resting as someone who's being prepared to become help for others. You're not just surrendering as someone who needs breakthrough. You're trusting as someone who's being equipped to help others break through. The transformation that begins tonight in your life will ripple through relationships, communities, and generations in ways you can't imagine. The victory you're about to experience will become hope for people who have given up hope. The miracle you're about to witness will become faith for people who have stopped believing in miracles. Your story matters more than you realize. Your breakthrough is more significant than you understand. Your testimony will carry more power than you can comprehend. The God who wastes nothing is ensuring that nothing you've walked through will be wasted, and nothing you're about to walk into will be limited to your individual experience. Sleep now in the confidence that while you rest, you're being prepared not just for personal victory, but for purposes that will outlive your lifetime. Dream with the assurance that divine intervention in your life is creating ripple effects that will touch lives you'll never meet. Rest with the peace that comes from knowing your breakthrough is part of a divine strategy that extends far beyond your current understanding. Tomorrow, you wake not just to a new day, but to a new chapter where your life becomes a demonstration of what's possible when human impossibility surrenders to divine possibility, where your story becomes proof that no situation is too hopeless, no dream too dead, no heart too broken for supernatural restoration. While you sleep tonight, God is fighting for you. But He's also preparing you to become someone who helps others discover that God fights for them too. Your rest tonight is strategic for breakthrough that will bless not just you, but everyone whose life will be touched by the miracle of what divine love can do through one's surrendered heart. Sleep well, beloved child of God. While you rest, infinite love is working miracles that will transform not just your story, but the stories of countless others who will be blessed through the overflow of what's being prepared for your life. Your breakthrough begins tonight, and its impact will continue echoing through eternity. The God who never breaks a promise is about to demonstrate His faithfulness in ways that will leave you breathless with wonder. Every covenant He made over your life before you were born is about to find fulfillment in circumstances so perfectly orchestrated that you'll recognize the fingerprints of divine love on every detail. The same voice that called light out of darkness is calling breakthrough out of your brokenness. The same power that separated waters to create dry ground is separating obstacles from your destiny. Feel the sacred silence that's settling over your spirit right now. This isn't empty quietness. This is pregnant pause before divine activity explodes into your reality. This is the hush that comes before supernatural intervention shifts everything you thought was permanent. This is holy stillness, before infinite power demonstrates that nothing is impossible when human surrender meets divine determination. In this moment, between consciousness and sleep, you're positioned at the intersection where time meets eternity, where natural limitations encounter supernatural possibilities, where human understanding gives way to divine revelation, where earthly resources step aside for heavenly provision, where finite strength surrenders to infinite power. You're standing at the very place where miracles are born. Every breath you take right now is drawing in peace that transcends comprehension. Every heartbeat is synchronizing with rhythms of divine purpose that have been established since before creation began. Every thought that tries to surface is being filtered through love that knows your end from your beginning and has already secured your victory in situations you haven't even encountered yet. The enemy of your soul is trembling right now because he recognizes what's happening in the spiritual atmosphere around your life. He sees the mobilization of forces he cannot resist. He witnesses the release of resources he cannot block. He observes the implementation of strategies he cannot counter. He understands that his time of influence over your circumstances is ending tonight. Every weapon that has been formed against you is about to discover its complete inability to prosper. Every scheme that has been devised to derail your destiny is about to encounter divine intervention that turns intended harm into unprecedented blessing. Every attack that was designed to destroy your future is about to become the very foundation upon which your greatest victories are built. The same God who turned a stable into a birthplace for salvation is turning your mess into a message of hope. The same love that transformed a cross into a symbol of victory is transforming your pain into a platform for testimony. The same power that made a tomb into a launching pad for resurrection is making your setbacks into setups for supernatural comeback. Right now, divine intelligence is calculating the precise moment when every element of your breakthrough will align perfectly. Supernatural wisdom is coordinating circumstances with precision that exceeds human comprehension. Infinite love is orchestrating events with timing so perfect that when everything unfolds, you'll recognize the masterful hand of divine orchestration in every component. The angels assigned to your situation are receiving final instructions for missions they've been eager to accomplish. Heavenly resources are being positioned for deployment at exactly the right moment. Divine favor is being prepared for release in ways that will astound everyone who witnesses what's about to unfold in your life. Supernatural protection is being established around everything that matters to you. But beyond all the external changes that are being prepared, something even more significant is taking place in the depths of your spirit. Your very identity is being realigned with truth about who you were created to be. Every lie you've believed about your limitations is being replaced with revelation of your unlimited potential. Every accusation you've accepted about your past is being overwritten with prophetic declarations about your future. You are not a victim of circumstances beyond your control. You are a victor whose triumph has already been secured by forces that have never known defeat. You are not defined by your struggles, but by your strength. Not by your failures, but by your faith. Not by your wounds, but by your worth. Not by your problems, but by your purpose. Not by your setbacks, but by your comeback. The same love that pursued you when you were running away is fighting for you now that you've turned toward home. The same grace that found you when you were lost is keeping you now that you've been found. The same mercy that forgave you when you were wrong is defending you now that you've surrendered to what's right. The same power that saved you from destruction is working salvation in every area of your life that needs divine intervention. While you sleep tonight, supernatural forces will be working in dimensions where time operates differently than in your natural experience. Hours that seem brief to your resting body will become eternities of opportunity for divine activity. Minutes that pass unnoticed by your dreaming mind will become moments when miracles are conceived and breakthrough is birthed. Seconds that tick by while you're unconscious will become segments of eternity where impossible situations encounter infinite solutions. The same God who compressed all of creation into 6 days understands how to accomplish in one night what you couldn't achieve in a lifetime of striving. The same divine intelligence that speaks worlds into existence with a word knows how to speak breakthrough into your circumstances with precision that will leave you speechless with gratitude. The same love that gave everything for your redemption is willing to rearrange everything for your restoration. Feel every muscle in your body releasing tension it has carried from trying to solve problems that required supernatural intervention. Let your mind stop racing through scenarios and strategies, knowing that divine intelligence is calculating perfect solutions that exceed your ability to conceive. Allow your heart to stop carrying burdens that belong in hands infinitely more capable than your own. This surrender isn't defeat, it's victory. This release isn't giving up. It's stepping up into partnership with forces that specialize in turning impossibilities into inevitabilities. This rest isn't escape from reality. It's entrance into the reality where divine love demonstrates its faithfulness through circumstances that will become monuments to supernatural provision. The God who created you for this exact moment is surrounding you with love that will never fail, strength that will never diminish, wisdom that will never err, and faithfulness that will never waver. The same presence that has walked with you through every valley is preparing to lead you to mountaintop experiences that will exceed every expectation you've ever held. Tomorrow morning, when consciousness returns, you'll wake to discover that everything has shifted, not necessarily in ways you can immediately see, but in ways you'll definitely feel. The spiritual atmosphere around your life will carry a different quality. The burden you've been carrying will feel lighter. The hope you've been protecting will feel stronger. The faith you've been nurturing will feel more confident. You'll wake with strategies you didn't have when you went to sleep. Solutions will seem clearer than they were before you rested. Opportunities will appear more accessible than they seemed yesterday. Relationships will feel more hopeful than they have in months. Dreams will seem more achievable than they've felt in years. The future will look brighter than it has since your trials began. This isn't wishful thinking or positive confession. This is the natural result of supernatural intervention that specializes in transforming desperate situations into demonstrations of divine faithfulness. This is what happens when human limitation encounters unlimited power. This is the outcome when finite understanding surrenders to infinite wisdom. This is the evidence when temporal struggles meet eternal solutions. The breakthrough that begins tonight will continue building momentum day after day, week after week, month after month. What starts as supernatural intervention in your circumstances will develop into supernatural transformation of your entire life trajectory. What begins as divine assistance with specific problems will evolve into divine partnership for extraordinary purposes. Every challenge that seemed insurmountable will become a testimony of divine faithfulness. Every obstacle that appeared permanent will become proof of supernatural power. Every problem that felt too complex for human solution will become a platform for demonstrating what infinite wisdom can accomplish through surrendered hearts. The God who never sleeps is watching over you with eyes full of love, hands ready to work, and a heart determined to demonstrate His goodness through your story. The same faithfulness that has sustained you through every difficulty you've already overcome is actively engaged in creating breakthrough that will surpass every victory you've already experienced. Sleep now in perfect confidence that while you rest, divine love is working miracles on your behalf. Dream with absolute assurance that supernatural intervention is creating opportunities beyond your imagination. Rest with complete peace, knowing that infinite power is fighting battles you could never win on your own. Surrender into unconsciousness with total trust that unlimited wisdom is solving problems that have exhausted your understanding. While you sleep tonight, God is fighting for you with the same determination that conquered death, the same power that raised the dead, the same love that gave everything for your redemption. He is working with the same faithfulness that has never failed anyone who placed their trust in His goodness, the same wisdom that has never made a mistake, the same strength that has never been overcome by any challenge. Your victory is not just possible, it is inevitable. Your breakthrough is not just probable, it is promised. Your miracle is not just hoped for, it is already in motion. Your blessing is not just desired, it is already prepared and positioned for perfect timing. The battle you've been fighting is already won. The victory you've been seeking is already secured. The breakthrough you've been believing for is already guaranteed. The miracle you've been praying for is already approved. The blessing you've been waiting for is already on its way. Rest now, beloved child of the Most High God, knowing that while you sleep, infinite love is demonstrating its faithfulness through circumstances that will leave you overwhelmed with gratitude. While you dream, supernatural power is creating breakthrough that will exceed your highest expectations. While you rest, divine wisdom is orchestrating victory that will become a testimony of what's possible when human hearts surrender completely to divine love. Tomorrow begins the greatest chapter of your story, written by hands that specialize in impossible transformations, authored by love that never gives up, directed by wisdom that sees the end from the beginning, and guaranteed by faithfulness that has never failed and never will. Sleep in peace, wake in victory, rest in surrender, rise in strength, dream in hope, awaken in joy. While you sleep, God is fighting for you, and when God fights for you, the outcome is never in question. Your breakthrough begins now, and nothing in heaven, on earth, or under the earth can stop what divine love has already set in motion. The God who loves you more than you can comprehend is working for you in ways that exceed your understanding, providing for you beyond your ability to imagine, protecting you with power you cannot fathom, and preparing blessings you cannot contain. While you sleep tonight, He is fighting for you with all the authority of heaven, all the resources of eternity, and all the determination of perfect love. Rest now, knowing that you are safe, secure, blessed, protected, provided for, and deeply loved. Your story is being rewritten by the author of miracles, and the best chapters are yet to come. While you sleep, God is fighting for you, and He has already won.